All right. Do we feel warmed up? Shall we start the podcast?
Oh,
proper?
God. Right. Probably.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to play a game, were we?
No. This is going to be all segments. So I guess we'll start with...
Wait, can you have like one of those pictures of like the broken clock bird for the thing?
Broken clock bird?
You know, when they're like, oops, technical difficulty.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. I'm writing that down. I'm making a note of that. That's a good idea. So this is why I surround myself with intelligent people, so they can make good decisions. Okay, so welcome to the Safe State. It's a podcast where we talk about video games. I'm Arvid.
Oh, I'm Mike. You got this.
You can't even do it.
I'm too new at this. I'm Marcus.
Yeah, so this is a morning podcast. This is we're gonna go through the traffic and the weather, and
for who?
Maybe some light human interest story about the video games. What's the traffic like in the video games? I don't know where I was going with that.
I mean, I don't know. Insert like GTA 5 something.
I guess that would be the game where they would have traffic, and then, in my experience, a guy would yell at me in Russian about, I don't know, something, and I would assume he hates me because I was driving too slow.
I've been watching this guy play a parking lot simulator game.
Parking lot simulator?
Yeah.
Is he like an attendant or?
No, he's like the manager, and like it's like very much like Arcade Paradise, where you start off with a little parking lot and just build it up.
Okay.
What point do you get to play fun video games?
Never.
Do you at some point unlock the ability to have tractor trailer parking or extended cab parking?
Ooh, I don't know.
You break into people's cars and just take their shit when they don't pay for parking?
I think that's the Thief Simulator.
It's just called Thief. Yeah,
that's a completely different game.
It's just him.
Yeah.
You just sneak around a medieval city, breaking into cars, taking stereos or some shit. I don't know. What do people steal from cars these days? Oh, catalytic converters.
Probably,
that's it.
They don't even need to break in. They just need to break off a part of the car.
Yeah, that's true. That's what you could do. You could harvest catalytic converters in Parking Lot Simulator. I'm sure that's a thing.
Probably.
So a peek behind the curtain. We're not going to have time to record for the next week or so due to Thanksgiving and whatnot. So we're doing back-to-back episodes, and we didn't play a game for this one. So we're just going to kind of talk about things video game related for the remainder of the episode.
Yeah.
In an interesting way.
Hopefully. Oh, what cracker you got now?
Yeah.
That looks like a Ritz. Oh, man. It's so much better than the saltines.
My two co-hosts are eating crackers.
My favorite thing to do with saltines is I'll crack the sleeve and then come back like a day later.
Whoa.
Like they're stale, you know?
Yeah, a little chewy. Interesting.
I didn't go to college. I'm a fairly uneducated guy. Certainly didn't go to college for anything related to podcasting. Yeah. But I have to imagine the thing they teach you on the first day is don't eat crackers while you're recording a podcast. Like, I feel like it's got to be up there. Right?
I feel like it's going to help you with your experience as an audio engineer.
I was also
to deal with
that. We're giving you editing experience.
Yeah.
Look, I'm at least not taking bites of cracker while it's my turn to talk, and I'm not trying to open the packaging while I'm speaking, so you don't have to like edit those sounds out yet.
That I appreciate.
So had we opened up our crackers yesterday, preparation would have been fine.
Yes, that would have been.
To that point,
great.
though, I do like something stale like that. I like popcorn. I will sometimes like pop popcorn and leave it out for the next day and have stale popcorn. I do like that.
Allegedly, it's like a breakfast cereal. If you,
I could see that.
Stale popcorn.
Sure, I could see it.
I cannot stand stale popcorn. That is interesting. Like even if it's like an hour after it's been like half an hour
the better.
It's been done, I'm like,
You've never had like the bag popcorn?
I hate bag popcorn. I don't know who invented that shit. Every time like you go to a
genius.
party and someone's like, I didn't bring chips, I brought bag popcorn, and I'm just like, you hate me and other people.
What if they had like the comically large size bag?
It's always the comically large size bag because they're making up for it in volume. It's like I brought a worse snack, but there's more of it, so it's okay. Like that. That is what they're doing.
You can sleep on it when you get really drunk later.
Yeah, you could stuff your mattress with it. You can, pack things in it for careful international shipping. But eating it is not something I want to do.
You're missing out.
I do like gummy bears when they're stale, though.
So you
Like when they got a little
like
bit of
your
hard.
jaw to ache.
Not quite hard, but like not chewy. Like they're like post chewy, but not crunchy. Like they're like a hard chew.
I mean, I get like not wanting like the super soft gummies.
Right.
Like those are the worst.
Yeah.
But like, we talking like a juju fish hard?
I don't know what a juju fish is, so maybe.
They're kind of like Swedish fish, but they're a little.
No, so like you want them just like ideally a gummy bear that is stale should be to maintain the elasticity. So you should still be able to bend it and kind of mush it around with your fingers, but it should not like so it's not like it doesn't break when you bend it. But it also like it's stiffer than like if it's just fresh out of the bag.
So you're just like talking about Swedish fish?
No, because Swedish fish are still too soft. Like I want like a chewier Swedish
Animal.
fish.
You're a wild
Just
animal.
buy the Haribo Gold Bears, like gummy bears instead.
That's what I'm talking about. Like,
those
I like
ones
those,
are like
but then
rock
I like
hard.
to like open the bag. Nah, they're not that.
I mean, they're not crunchy hard,
mean,
but
maybe
they're
some of
like
them are.
hard.
They're definitely harder than like the American style, like
Black Forest.
Yeah, I like the
gummies.
Haribo
Yeah.
ones, but a
yeah,
little,
Black
a
Forest
little bit
ones
stale.
are like too soft.
They're too soft. Yeah.
Like I'll have to take like a whole mouthful to like get satisfaction.
I only like really soft ones like that if it's the worms, and yeah, I'm hearing it now too. That's how tired we are that we just have
It's
been
gonna be
letting
so hard picking what I'm going to use for this stinger.
just 10 minutes of us being like, do you like it harder in your mouth or softer in your mouth? And we just didn't even pick up on it. That's how sleepy Marcus and I are. Oh, God.
So video games. Did anyone play any video games in the last 16 hours since we last recorded?
I did.
What'd you play?
Oh, are we doing the end of segment first? Okay. I played
Yeah, why not?
Random segments.
Oops.
all out of order. I played.
Well, there is no order.
So, whoa.
It's true.
I had trouble sleeping last night because I knew there was an alarm going off and my brain sucks. So I was up all night, and to distract myself, I occasionally grabbed my phone, and instead of doom scrolling through the news, I just kept opening up Vampire Survivors and playing little stages of that. And that was good. It's a low stakes game, so the moment I felt like I could fall asleep, I would just set the phone down, like not even leave the stage, and just like let the character die and try to get some sleep. And it never came, but yeah, love that game.
Yet another ringing endorsement for Vampire Survivors.
Fantastic.
At this point, I think we deserve a sponsorship.
There you go.
Get at us, whoever it is decides that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I played that game for like, I mean, obviously not in the last 16 hours, but for like a couple months ago, I played it for like a little bit. But then there's like 85 games that are almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Even like the abilities and the abilities that match together are the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are like
well, I think
cloning it hard.
I think the Vampire Survivors, the thing that makes it better than most of those is just the progression and then the way they interact with each other and stuff like that. Like it's just like the right mixture of all the other ones. Like it is something that is, if it's not done perfectly well like Vampire Survivors does, it is kind of tedious.
Mm-hmm.
But like they just nail it. So it's a good game.
There's always something you're unlocking pretty much at any given time.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had one that's nothing like that at all. It's called Souls.
Souls.
Yeah.
That sounds like a thing I could easily remember.
And I barely play it, but it's supposed to be like fun. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like
The game told me it was fun, so
I'm looking
it
at
must
it.
be
like
true.
3 people I
Looking
work
at it.
with play it, but it's auto battle. I guess.
Oh,
Right.
I don't. I mean, I know that's a thing, and a lot of people like it. I have not gotten to it at all.
I mean, depending
As
on
a
how
genre.
it works, you're already playing an auto battler anytime you play Vampire Survivors. Like you're moving around, but you're not doing any of the other
guess.
stuff.
I mean, yeah, but I think of it more as just like a stripped down twin stick kind of a thing.
That's
But
fair.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's a hybrid of the
I
two.
don't know.
I don't know. Someone mentioned the other day that like, oh, that's a cool tower defense game, and I was like, oh fuck, I don't like tower defense games, but I guess if they're done this way, I do.
I don't even know if I would call it a tower defense game. To me, like you have to have static objects to be a tower defense game. And you do not stand still in Vampire Survivors, really.
Not unless you're a boss and you've like maxed out all of your stuff, and you can just leave the game running for the last 5 minutes.
Oh, that's true. Have you guys played Cookie Clicker?
No,
Never.
no. What's Cookie Clicker?
It was a browser game that I started. Like it came out, I think, like 10 years ago.
Did you
just
just close
click
down
on
cookies?
You just click on the cookie, and then like it creates like little cookies, and then you keep making more cookies. The more you click on the cookie, and then it's
Until
a clicking
your
game.
Computer crashes from the overload.
Yeah, pretty much. You just constantly click on a picture of a cookie for eternity.
Interesting.
I liked it a lot, and then they put it out on Steam, and I'm tempted to buy it because for some reason Cookie Clicker reminds me of Christmas.
Why can't you just
And,
go back to the
I've-
website?
I mean, I could, but what if the Steam version's different? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, what if it is?
I'm on.
Like you just paid money.
I mean,
for
technically, I've never actually given them any money, and I've probably played it for several hours.
You know,
so
it's
they
funny.
probably are due a bit.
I got 10 cookies right now.
You
Now
click
it's
on
11
Cookie Clicker?
and 12. Yeah, already got it going.
Man,
Not on Steam. It's on.
It will
It's on a
eat
website.
hours up. Yeah, it'll do that. It'll also, and then you like get upgrades to like make it's an auto clicker. I don't know what that kind of fucking game is called. I think it was like
Idle, I believe
exercise
is what they're
in
called.
tedium. Yeah, a game you don't actually play. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's one of those things that doesn't seem like it should be a thing.
I did have
It actually is.
the Jerry's game for a while on my phone
What's Jerry's game?
from Rick and Morty. We just pop balloons.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
No. And after a while, you do get to the auto popping, so you just kind of open it up and watch it. You're just like, oh, okay.
I am unfamiliar with that. But yeah, I imagine it's a fairly similar experience then, because there does get to a point with Cookie Clicker where like the auto click cookie creation occurs so quickly that you don't need to actually click on anything.
I think my favorite of the idle games is Loop Hero, if you have not played it.
Oh, I've
It's
heard of that.
very fun. It's like a couple bucks. It's not much, but very fun game where the hero, moves around the map and does everything. The only thing you do is like earn tiles to make more of the map so the character has more interactions going on. Yeah. It's pretty interesting. It's got a little bit of that
Is that your
Vampire
best
Survivors
Minecraft?
to it. What?
Yeah, well, it's not my best, but it's on there.
Oh, for the
The villager noises.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do you ever make that sound in the bathroom after you've had like a bad one?
oh yeah.
No. I always just make old man like getting up noises.
I'm getting really better at not having those happen involuntarily in public. Like I realized for a while there that I
that's
just like
the worst
stopped
is when you,
thinking
like-
about it.
Which
And I was
ones?
getting it in
The
like
bowel
old man,
movements?
no old man noises, like just getting up and down out of like a bar chair or something for no reason. I'd be like, ah.
Yeah.
And it's like, stop it, man.
Yeah.
Like this isn't even hard. You're fine.
Hey Arvid, Cookie Clicker's free on like the phone.
I know. It's free on the web, on the browser too.
Yeah.
Is this just going to become us playing Cookie Clicker today?
You know they get like
Why?
advertisement money.
Well, you know, I don't know. Okay, let's look at Cookie Clicker on Steam. What do you get? Oh, fucking hell. Jesus.
Dude, they have Zaxby's advertising, so obviously like
Whoa,
they're
shit.
making money.
Is that the chicken place?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, you get music by the same guy who did the music for Minecraft.
Nice.
If you get the Steam version. And
Which means at certain points during
can
the
save your
game, it'll
game.
just get obscenely loud for no reason. It'll be calming music, but just really
Yeah.
loud.
and over 500 achievements, which sounds not less like a selling point and more like a challenge. Also, mod support. There's mod support if you get it on Steam.
Oh, interesting.
You already know. You already know.
I have it on my phone now. This is going to be a problem.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
You know what people are clicking out there. Boobies, butts, and
so-
wieners.
Oh, shit. It actually looks way better on the phone than it did on the website. It's a good looking cookie.
Although the website's probably a good 10 years old at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this will be the Cookie Clicker episode.
This might be a Cookie Clicker episode. I guess idle games in general is, I mean, they're fun, right? Like, I do like occasionally opening up my phone and just like a game has made progress without me, and I'm just making a couple choices and then going back about my day.
Yeah, I this is the only idle game I've ever played is Cookie Clicker.
I
No
think you
Adventure
should try
Communist?
to.
What'd you say, Marcus?
It's a no adventure communist.
Adventure?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Communist?
That's way
Yeah,
better
it
than
used to be like
Adventure
the
Capitalist.
number one advertised. Like,
I've played it.
anytime you bought a game, you just like get the ad for Adventure Communist.
It starts with
Just like harvest
you
potatoes.
clicking a bunch that you can get potatoes for your farmers, and then the farmers start building like plots of land, and then that land can be used. Eventually, like the military gets involved, and it's a whole thing, like for different. You know.
I've never heard of this. All the ads I see on my the only ads I ever see for games are like the weird thing with like it's like a starving lady and you're supposed to move a thingy to make her get money
Oh yeah,
with like I don't know. I've never actually clicked on it, so I don't know what it does.
It's just Bejeweled.
Oh, that makes sense.
mm-hmm. Those ones
I have a lot of
always
clicking noises now.
see. That's why I can just tap quietly on my phone here.
Oh yeah, smart. That's why they do it. Sure, they don't have it on Switch. I guess. Well, you could do it on Switch.
Yeah,
There's a
touchscreen. Plus, I got three
touchscreen, but I always
thingies on
forget
this
about.
phone right now. I'm triple clicking.
Oh man,
I know. It's going so
I never
fast.
thought about that.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a bit of existential dread that sets in with Cookie Clicker.
As the number
As you
just
start,
gets
like,
higher and
changing
higher.
The
and-
laws. Yeah. Like the amount of matter in the universe that is cookies is more cookies than not cookies.
There's just weird advertisements on mine. One is a banner ad on the bottom for products, and one of the products is a mask, like a realistic flesh mask of an old man, like just empty eye socket. Like it's very disturbing. I don't know why it's there. I'm not into that. It's not a well-targeted ad.
I don't understand advertisers for me either.
No.
I mean, Google or whoever it is thinks that I'm interested in two things: insurance and knives. That is like the two things I seem to get advertisements for.
Yeah.
And I'm not particularly interested in either. Although I do have both, technically speaking. I have knives for like cooking with, not knives for being a. These are like mall ninja knives.
Oh,
not
those
like,
kind.
Yeah. Cooking knives.
I mean, I have both, but not mall ninja knives. I have like knives for if I'm out in the woods doing projects. I have knives that can like help me cut down a small like sapling or something and do whatever. Like an actual useful knife, not some fake switchblade.
Yeah, no, with like a weird curve on it that looks like it's like the like if someone took the concept of a tribal tattoo and then infused it into a single artifact. That's what most of these knives looked like.
Yeah, I get it. You know, there was a period of my life where I thought that as an adult, I would just have the ability to effectively and very coolly wield a butterfly knife. And then until this moment, I hadn't thought about them at all anymore. Like, what a silly style of knife. I'm not impressed by it in any way.
I just remember that being something Jake would whip out at parties and flip around, and I would just think about how I didn't want to stand near him when he did that.
Yeah.
But at least that was better than when everyone decided they had guns.
I left before gun party started being a thing.
I don't know. No. I mean, like Jimmy got his gun like
that's
2009 or whatever.
Yeah, that is true. I wasn't hanging out with Jimmy back then.
The fact that no one died at Jimmy's gun party was... I want to get some coffee.
Okay.
We should probably talk about video games at some point in this episode.
Yes. I mean, we talked about Cookie Clicker.
That's true.
And Vampire Survivors and Souls and Loop Hero. A lot of idle game talk today. A lot of idle chatter.
Should we just call this one Idle Chatter?
No, I don't feel that exceptionally proud of it.
No, I think it's not bad. Oops, all segments, idle chatter.
Okay, if we add a colon in, then yes.
Not that anyone's had an idle colon in this episode.
It's going to be, no, God, I'm already going to have to go for round 2 here soon. So we better start talking about games so we can wrap this up.
I've only actually been recording for like 40 minutes, man. Because we spent so long fucking around at the beginning.
God.
And then we started fucking around at the end. We need some actual
40 minutes? I have an hour.
So I've got... Oh, no, we've been recording for an hour. I just mean, of it that we've been recording.
That's true.
I'm going to guess we have about 40 minutes of usable material.
Well, we have 40 minutes of material.
Also,
but yes.
we keep getting up and leaving and walking away and stuff. So.
I hope Marcus is okay.
Not that that's... He's going to get more coffee.
Oh, good. That'll
Maybe we should just, next time, just make sure everyone's got a thermos next to their computer.
I'm afraid if I have a third cup right now, I'm going to have a problem, So, I guess we'll wait for... Oh,
I saw a finger.
Yep. That would be a good joke, though. If he just slowly brought his penis into frame.
Got him.
Would that be a good joke?
It would be a good
joke. Would that be a good joke?
It would be. I'd respect it.
It would be like a whole episode of SNL.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I have a quiz. Do you guys want to take a quiz? Try and focus in on something.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
All segments.
Oop. Yeah. Inspired by our discussion about Dave the Diver and what is and what is not an indie game.
Okay.
I have a list here of indie developers, and I want you to tell me if they are indie. That is to say, they are a indie style developer that is owned by a bigger company, or they are truly independent.
Gotcha.
And I will also tell you the name of the game they made.
Yeah, because they're just going by company names, so I would just be like, shoot.
Yeah. You might get a couple of these, but probably not. Probably not most of them. Team Cherry, the developers behind Hollow Knight.
Is this just like
indie or independent?
Is this like a free fire round, or is it like?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess you guys can. Do you guys want to team up since you guys are
sure
sleepy, or do you guys
sure?
Okay.
I'm always a team player.
We can play it against each other. Up to you guys.
I'm not a very competitive person.
These. Not
Ritz
yet.
crackers.
Oh, okay.
Ah, man. Just showing them off.
My guess would be actually an independent company.
I would guess that too.
That's correct.
Given that it's taking so long for the sequel.
Hey, that didn't stop Ubisoft.
That's true. Nah.
Or Gears for Breakfast. They are the developers of A Hat in Time.
Huh.
We've done this for the
You
podcast.
guys played that, yeah.
Yeah,
We
we
did.
have.
I dipped a Ritz in my coffee and it was not good.
Indie.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say indie, not independent.
Okay,
Is
so you
the-
think they're owned by someone else?
I think they are.
They are independent.
Oh, interesting. How is that Ritz in the coffee?
Oh,
No.
I would never try it.
No.
again.
Okay.
No.
that sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Don't do
Really
that.
buttery coffee.
I could have told you that'd be a bad idea.
You know, I was kind of trying to be nice and soften it up.
Yeah.
I appreciate the thought, but don't do yourself too much of a disservice, in the sense that would be bad.
We need a list of
taste.
podcast approved foods.
I think you can use your common sense and judgment and think about how, as a group of people who have spent a great deal of time just now talking about the noise that food makes coming out of our bodies, we can think about maybe the noise that food makes going into our bodies.
Just
Well,
a
my
cheek
brain would be
full
like,
of gummy
pudding
bears.
should be fine. But no, if I got pudding mouth and I tried talking
man.
like, it sounds worse.
What is pudding mouth?
You know
When
what
you're
pudding
trying to talk
mouth
through
is.
a mouthful of pudding.
That's it. Obviously.
I don't know. I don't know that I've ever had difficulty speaking due to eating pudding. But maybe that's
That's what
You're
everyone
not putting
thinks.
enough pudding in your mouth then. Yeah.
but to be fair, I haven't had like true pudding in some time, like one of those little snack pack deals. Haven't had one. Of those
Fucking
in a
up.
while. I know. Crow Team, the developers of Talos Principle and Serious Sam.
There's no way they're not
Like owned
by
by
a company
someone.
if they-
Yeah,
Serious
that's what I'm
Sam,
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's trying to be like a red herring.
I mean, I guess technically, look, that's kind of the funny thing is like, if your indie game gets big and you get a lot of money from that and you start making more and more games off of that first big hit, you're still indie. Like, you're just famous now. I don't know. You think like independent, truly, or you think it's just indie?
I'm gonna go with truly independent because I feel like it's a red herring. This is the Serious Sam thing.
He's my partner. I'm supporting him in this answer.
Okay. No, they are actually owned by Devolver now.
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 Okay.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
So were those games developed independently?
Yes, they were.
Oh, so what's
So
that?
that's not my point. This is a quiz with this is a quiz with a message. But I'll give you that for sussing out my intention there. Platonic. They're developers of Ukulele.
Oh.
I have no idea what that game is.
It's a worse
It's like the
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie successor. Yeah. I liked it better than most people did, but it is definitely a worse Banjo-Kazooie.
Mm-hmm. They've got to be owned by someone. Like that feels so much like a boardroom made game.
Cash grab.
It's what it felt like.
No, they are independent.
Really?
Actually, the team is actually made up by mostly Rare employees who made the original Banjo-Kazooie.
How did it?
And that's why they went on to make Ukulele.
How?
Because they made Banjo-Kazooie 20 years ago.
Oh, that's
And,
fair.
You can't just necessarily... I mean, have you not listened to a Rolling Stones record?
Yeah.
ever?
No, you're right.
All right. Unknown Worlds, publishers of Subnautica, or developers of Subnautica.
Independent.
Yeah, I would say independent.
They're actually owned by Krafton, the company that made PUBG.
Huh.
But they were bought. They weren't originally. They were originally an indie studio. But
So your point is that the indie developers are getting bought up.
no, my point is that most indie games that are put out with but are owned by bigger companies started off as indie developers themselves and indie games themselves. I guess is what I'm saying. Like going through and trying to find, I was trying to find more developers like whatever the company they called that made Dave the Diver, but they're actually relatively rare, at least amongst well-known indie games that I've found. Generally speaking, if you're an indie developer that is owned by a bigger company, you started off as an indie developer that just got bought out.
Yeah,
right.
You weren't like this industry plant pseudo company that I feel like a lot of people are kind of accusing Dave the Diver of being, which may be or may not be true. But moving on, Studio MDHR. They're the developers of Cuphead.
Oh.
It's going to be a yes. Well, no, it's going to be a no because they're owned now.
I'm going to say it's truly independent is what I'm feeling.
They got a fucking Netflix show.
No, I know they have a Netflix show, but the way they built that entire game, I feel like if they were owned by a larger parent company, they would have never been able to make it because the new technology they needed to create. I'm sure they're owned now.
And so Arvid's quiz is if they're currently owned, it doesn't matter what happened to release.
They're probably currently owned by Microsoft now or something.
They are actually still independent.
Good for
Completely
them.
Independently owned.
Good
In fact,
for them.
MDHR is just the initials of the main developers.
There you go.
So they still are.
There's a fascinating
fiddle on that one.
little documentary you can watch on YouTube's about the creation of the art style for that game. They had to change the way the frame rate worked for everything, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, because they were trying to emulate the old Fleischer Brothers cartoons, which all have a 24 frames per second frame rate.
So they actually had to figure out how to do
run
that
at 60.
Yeah,
it's really impressive. That everything about that game is impressive. Aside from, well, no, that's impressive too. I mean, it's hard, and
it's very hard, and yeah. I haven't beaten the DLC. I've beaten the main game, but yeah.
I have absolutely not, but someday I will, maybe. Cly Entertainment, the developers of Don't Starve and all those games that look like Don't Starve. Oxygen Not Included, etc.
They're owned by someone, aren't they? They owned by
I'm not
it's
familiar
not like it's
with
not
their-
Niantic or something, but like they're owned by like one of those people, aren't they? I feel like they are.
Yeah, they're owned by Tencent.
Tencent.
Yeah. Well, they've been owned by them actually for a while. They've been owned by them for 5 years, 6 years now. So
Did they be
of the studios on here?
independent?
No, but like they have put out games that are indie games while under the ownership of a much bigger company.
Is Double
I
Fine
can't-
still like their own entity?
Now, Double Fine's owned by Microsoft.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They got bought like right around the same time as like Bethesda and all those other like little American ones.
I like how you called Bethesda little.
I mean, compared to Microsoft or
Sure, yeah.
2K or Ubisoft, then yeah. But I also was referring to like the other smaller studios that got bought out at the same time, not actually Bethesda itself, like Arcane and those ones. 2 Point Studios, developers of 2 Point Hospital and 2 Point Campus.
Also games I'm not familiar.
They're fun.
We've spoken about one of them on this podcast, Campus, I think. They're like spiritual successors to Bullfrog's theme hospital. I think it's actually developed by a lot of the same people who used to work at Bullfrog and Lionhead. So, the people who actually made the games that Peter Molyneux were selling.
The objective is like to set up the hospital or the campus or whatever based on the criteria and needs of the like Sims running around it and stuff, and
Yeah, and it
achieve
and it has a
goals and
very specific sense of humor to itself.
yeah.
Did you ever
Like-
play? It was like almost like a Sims clone, but instead of playing the Sims, you played like a series of ghosts in the house, and your goal was to scare everybody out.
No, but I like
Oh my
that.
God, it
No?
was so good.
That sounds like an interesting idea.
Yeah, like
I'll have to find
it
what that
slowly
is.
gets bigger and bigger. Like you start off in like a small house, and then like so you either do like a high school, and then you do like
Oh,
a
that
hospital.
sounds really interesting. I would like to do that.
You should find that.
Yeah, but for this 2 Point Click, I have no idea because I never played these games.
Mike has.
Yeah,
Mike
I'm
has.
going to guess that they are independent, like truly independent.
They're actually owned by Sega.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. No, they think they actually got bought by Sega like after 2 Point Hospital came out, but before the port of 2 Point Hospital came out.
Gotcha.
Like it was very quick after they put out 2 Point Hospital.
Oh, I should have known that because the fucking Nintendo version I have has Sonic the Hedgehog as an option as a decoration in the hospital.
Yeah.
A little on the nose.
Coffee Stain Studios, the developers of Satisfactory and Goat Simulator.
Those have to be independent, but
I'm gonna go with him on it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
but we got played like a goddamn fiddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're owned by the Embracer Group.
Oh,
They got bought out
good.
a few years
good.
ago. That was
They're
one of the
doing
first.
well.
That was one of the first ones in the giant corporate Katamari that was the Embracer Group, when they were just buying up little local Swedish companies before they started buying out fucking comic book publishers and shit. Last one, SCS Software, the developers of American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator.
You know, you're the only ones
Some other
that have
truck
played these
simulators.
games.
That's a
of the three
two-person
of us,
passion
right?
project.
No, dude, you should like. They go hard. Like there's like a whole team. They send teams of people out to like truck testing areas just to like record the audio for the engines to be accurate.
That's insane.
They put in the work.
I just hope you both know Ghostmaster's only $2.99 right now.
It's called Ghostmaster.
That's what this is called.
Okay. All right, fair enough. We'll check it out. I guess going by the theme of this, no, I gotta go independent on that one. I just don't think that you can make an argument in a market that I want to make a truck simulator
put out a
game
lot
and
of DLC.
give me money. Right. I get that. they might be a big studio, but I think they're their own studio. I just don't see a corpo daddy handing over fistfuls of cash for a truck simulator game. I am sorry, Arvid. I know you like these, but
No, you're right. They are independent. I think there was some talk about Paradox buying them out back in the day.
They couldn't afford them.
I mean, maybe it's not quite train simulator levels of weirdos, because like the DLC is actually affordable and stuff like that, where you don't have to like take out a loan to like buy a DLC pack. But those are pretty hardcore truck simulator enthusiasts out there. But yeah, no, they're independent, and actually, of all the developers I follow, like they're one of the ones that I think are best at like kind of talking, like explaining the development process to their fans and talking about what they're going to do next and all that jazz. I think that they're an admirable developer. But my point is, through all this, is that I don't know that there's like the same problem that you have with indie, like we had with indie films and indie music, where the independent part of it became just a tone as opposed to an actual rooted independent thing. Like you have independent movies that were big studio passion projects to begin with, and you had independent bands which were just, built by record companies. But I don't know that right now you have that many indie games that were developed by big studios and snuck in as independent games yet, aside from Dave the Diver. So maybe this is just like the warning shot. I don't know, but it isn't like some sneaky, pervasive thing that's been going on for years. That I could find.
right.
At least none of like the big games that I play like are like that. Like if there's an independent game that I think is a very good independent game, then that is a popular independent game, and they are not an actual independent studio. It's because they were bought out. They sold high on themselves, generally speaking.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just everything's getting consolidated. I just don't like it.
Yeah, and everything will blow up again too. Look up Golf and Western. Like, go to the Wikipedia page for Golf and Western. Things contract and things expand.
Sure.
Like, there was a legitimate concern back in the day that Golf and Western was going to own, like, everything in the world.
Oh, that's just called BlackRock.
Yeah, and then that stuff will explode at some
No,
point.
BlackRock is owned. Like, I don't fucking know.
No, I know. I'm well aware of who BlackRock is.
Since
The
like
Golf
the
and
80s.
Western at one point used to own Paramount Pictures. They used to own the biggest movie studio, the biggest television studio, and the biggest grocery store chain in the world.
Well, I feel like cinema is all owned by like 2-3 people for the most part.
No, I mean, but like this wasn't even a cinema company. Like they were a mining company that started buying other things, just to expand.
Yeah,
like
they were into the sugar industry. They were in like a lot of shit. Yeah, they owned Sega.
Like I wish they would be like the Japanese and start investing.
Yeah,
in
they owned
baseball
Sega
teams.
for a while. Yeah, they owned Madison Square Garden, and by that extent, they also owned the Rangers and the Knicks at one point. Like, there was a point in the late 1970s where Golf and Western owned, the biggest publisher, the biggest video game company, the biggest like arcade video game company, movie studios, television, sports, like these things. And then the thing is, like you realize like they can't keep growing like this, and then they explode and people lose their jobs. And
I mean,
it's a mess.
Maybe.
Look, I don't want to sound like
I think that's true at one point
market,
in time.
But like, why can't they keep doing that?
No, I mean, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm saying things explode. Like capitalism always is going to
Fail.
like explode.
Yeah.
Well,
Too much money
That's
creates a money black hole.
true.
It's like that guy in Disco Elysium that gets so rich,
he just
You don't think that maybe that was a
bends
metaphor
inward.
for something?
Weird.
Wait,
Whoa.
there are metaphors in that
wow.
game?
I don't know if Disco
I thought it
Elysium
was
has
pretty-
that much to say
I thought it
about
was
like
pretty
economic
cut and
theory.
dry.
Yeah.
It's about being hungover.
Yep.
Don't overanalyze things. Not everything has to be political.
That's right.
I really want like
I don't know. I just
egg sandwich, but I know that wouldn't be a podcast-friendly food.
no.
I mean, it's more podcast friendly than Ritz crackers.
I mean, the shells though.
Just don't eat with your mouth open, and you should be fine.
Don't. Are you going to eat the whole egg?
That was
Like
like
some
some
kind
kind
of-
a joke.
Were you just? I was gonna say, are you just eating a piece of bread and then a little bit of mustard in your mouth and a bite of hard-boiled egg?
No, he just puts the whole egg in there, like some kind of
Egg sandwich.
like
The shell is the
egg
bread.
eating.
Jesus.
I mean, it's probably got calcium in it or something.
Sure.
All right, so next segment, maybe last segment. We'll see where
Possibly.
we're at.
Probably.
I asked you guys to give me, or rather, I warned you guys that I would ask you this, because I was trying to think of things that we could do to pad out this episode. What would be your 5 desert island games? Like, you were trapped on a desert island. You can only bring 5 video games with you. They can't be multiplayer games because that would be cheating. What 5 would you bring with you?
I thought you said 4.
I may have said 4. We could do 4.
No, that's fine.
Why not
Because
do
there's
4?
definitely like a bunch of like. I mean, sure, this isn't the top 4, but so is this one. It holds the same slot kind of
that's the
thing,
thing.
you know.
Yeah, like that was kind of what I was initially having trouble thinking about, because like if I were to do my like top 5 favorite games, they're not necessarily the games I want to play if I'm trapped on a desert island for any length of time, you know.
No, that's agreeable.
So that's why I made this distinction, because we could just lift off our top 5 favorite games, but I think these are the games for me that are my favorites that have legs to them that I could replay a lot going, you know. So Marcus, do you want to start? I noticed you had some stuff prepared.
Yeah, I guess I have to go first. Well, I have 3 physical copies on me.
You don't. I mean, this is an audio medium. You don't need to show. This isn't show and tell. Although that was one of the ideas for a podcast we
Yes,
had
it
before
was.
we started this one.
So, I got, see, this one was like a little bit of a toss-up, but it's also the toss-up was with its predecessor, but got Paper Mario, 1,000 Year Door, which
Okay.
Arby's never played.
No, I haven't.
Great RPG, great art style.
Replayable.
It's not like you're gonna get like branching paths or anything, but it's a very fun game. You should definitely get it. Which if you've never played it before, is a must. There's
I mean,
some.
we could do it for an episode if you want.
It would be worth
Put
it.
it on the
It's
list.
good.
I mean, it's very, very good. I love it. The series kind of died after. Well, it didn't die. It took a big change after that.
Yeah,
Especially with, like,
I was
the
really
Wii
disappointed
stuff.
with the last one, the Origami King.
I liked it. I mean, yeah, I hated the combat and the fact that you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
level. Which I was like, what is this, an RPG anymore? like the combat is like a ring puzzle.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, you line up the enemies and then do a move, but your moves are just like item based rather than like level based. But it's also, though, it has an insane amount of character to it. Like, like most Mario games do. But yeah, if you were like a fan of 1,000 Year Door and the original one, you'd be.
Or the like handheld
be upset
Mario and
with it.
Luigi games that
Yeah.
were all like RPGs too. Yeah.
Super Mario Saga, yeah.
Yeah, I think the only Mario RPG I played was the first one, the our Mario RPG.
Well, Paper Mario was actually the direct successor to that.
Yeah, I know that.
Actually,
I
lot of
just
people
never
were
played
pissed
it.
off when the first one came out because they're like, well, this isn't that.
This isn't Super Mario RPG 2,
Which is fair.
which is what I wanted.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I guess that was after the great Square is now, like, Nintendo is no longer my friend. I am now best friends with Sony thing that Square did.
Yep. Very wild
that's
shift.
one.
But then we got Kingdom Hearts, so everything was fine. Everyone's cool now.
I mean, there were like the Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and 10 before that. So
No, I'm pretty sure those were all inspired by the characters in Kingdom Hearts. They got the idea for Sephiroth from
all
Kingdom
those
Hearts.
Disney movies came out of like that game.
That's it. We would have never had Hercules if it wasn't for Kingdom Hearts.
Walt Disney traveled forward in time and saw Kingdom Hearts and then just tried to work everything backwards from there. If you go into Epcot, there's actually like just a bunch of weird guys in black cloaks singing "It's a Small World" as they chant in a circle.
What's that one Philip K. Dick where we're all stuck in the same year, but time is an illusion?
That's just Philip K. Dick. Like, he believed that truly.
Yeah, well, that's what's going on
No.
real.
I mean,
that's how Disney.
That's Valis.
That's how Disney is getting these ideas from Kingdom Hearts.
Could be.
No. And then my next game, not a big seller, but Ring of Red. I think I've shown art.
Ring of Red.
I don't know Ring of
is what it's
Red.
called. Yeah, it's not a well-known game.
I haven't heard this.
Oh,
one
I've
either.
shown you pictures of it, and you are like nutting every time I show them to you. It is a
Oh, is that what that is?
yes, it is a
Oh, I thought it was a
like
I
a
thought it was like
alternate
made-up
history. The Nazis won. Not really. I think they do some kind of weird, like they split Japan between the Nazis and the Americans or something like that. But it's mechs.
Interesting.
And
Oh, you had me at mechs.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's a grid-based combat system, like turn-based, until
Nice.
you enter into combat, and then it becomes like a 90-second corridor of you commanding not just your mechs, but 3 different units, like squad units. Like one will act as a support directly on your mech. You get like special shooting abilities and all that stuff with that. Then you have 2 ground forces that can either be like anti-infantry or like anti-mech, and they also have
Nice.
their own abilities. And everyone levels up, and it is painful because you cannot save the game during combat, and the missions can be hours. And if you go over time, you fail. And if you load a save, it deletes the save. Upon loading it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's
Yeah.
hardcore.
No, I was like reading up on it one time, and someone referred to it as PlayStation 2 on hardcore mode.
No, I mean, I was a big Front Mission fan, so I'll have to check that
Yeah, a
out.
lot of people say like Front Mission is definitely like, yeah, the same kind of vein as this. But this is a little more like nuanced in how painful do you want your life to be.
Yeah, I don't think Front Mission was quite this punishing. At least, not that I remember it being.
Yeah, so that's a game. More people should play it, but I understand why.
Yeah, I'm getting all kinds of ideas.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Classic. Well, Final Fantasy 9.
That's a great one.
Okay.
What is there
Yeah.
to say about that
Scientology game. It's fantastic.
Okay, well, you've mentioned this before. What is the Scientology angle in Final Fantasy IX? You need to say it.
You know,
No, I
the
don't.
like space soul thing.
The God King that, was.
And they're like
killing souls
reabsorbing
and
all the
created-
like space souls to stop the
That is like a
reincarnation process.
Scientology
It
thing.
is kind of like a little Xenu-ish.
But I mean, how isn't like Sephiroth Xenu then? Or
Wait, has Final
Genova
Fantasy
and
always been a
Final Fantasy
metaphor?
or maybe it's just like sci-fi tropes are not that inventive, and creating your religion based around 60s sci-fi tropes might lead to some comparisons to other things. I don't know. No, I love Final Fantasy IX. It's an amazing
One of the
game.
reasons I think Final Fantasy IX was so great is because I think it was like the game director's last Final Fantasy. It was like the music director's last Final Fantasy, and like the art director's last Final Fantasy.
That art in it,
So they
like the
just, like,
character
made-
designs alone are just fucking beautiful.
Yeah, so they just made like a love letter to all the games they had made in the past, pretty much. Which is like, what are all our favorite parts of those? Let's wrap them up into one last little hurrah. I think
it's certainly like speaking of soundtrack, like that is the best Final Fantasy. I mean, Nobuo Uematsu is like my idol when it comes to everything. Like I didn't know names of video game developers, but I knew Nobuo Uematsu like as soon as I could read words. And yeah, that is absolutely his best soundtrack.
Yeah, I think the thing with like the more people like play older Final Fantasies, the more they really, because I feel like a lot of people, if they've never played Final Fantasy, like 9 is kind of like, what the fuck, you know? But then if you like, if you've experienced the other ones, you're like, oh, it's just like combining all the good parts.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I wasn't really, like, I still am not someone who really likes some of the earlier ones. Like, as the Final Fantasies get going, like, it's not really until, like, 4, 5, 6 that I start kind of really liking them. And even then, it's mostly just 6.
No, that's fair. I mean, the
I
first,
still
like,
think
2
amazing.
especially are, like, very empty games.
They
like,
are
great
but
for the
like,
time, but, like,
I could play
there's
them,
nothing to
like
them.
really hard
Yeah.
because I love to grind. I can't grind in a game, and that's all the game is just like begging you to grind.
Yes.
That's fair.
And like, yeah.
Marcus, you are just I'm going to make a soundboard of just Marcus misquotes.
They're not misquotes. Those are direct quotes.
My only two like things I have against 9 is the trance system is terrible and it sucks and I hate it.
Terrible, sure, but it's like playing into what it is itself, you know?
Yeah,
It's
I mean, I get
meta,
it. It's
but
like,
no, it does suck because you're just gonna waste it on like a fucking nobody every time.
it's always like a little tiny bug with 1 hit point left, and then it's like, oh look, I've got trance. Great, I love it. And I also thought that I don't think the ending was bad, but the last disc, there was just a lot of like, I don't want to say railroading, but you like, because like all the cities are blown up, there isn't like that fun bit you get with other Final Fantasies where you have like,
once you get the airship, just do what you want. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and I think that is one. But I mean, I still think I don't know that I could say that 7, 8, 9, or 10, or 6 even are any better or worse than any of the other ones. But those are just my only qualms I have with 9.
I can see that. I mean, 9 is very definitely narratively driven, as far as like.
Yeah, and
the game never
and 9
really
also
like says, "Hey, just go dick around." You know, like a lot of other Final Fantasies will just kind of be like, "Well, I mean, you're supposed to do this, but."
No, that's true. That's true. Aside from like the chocobo field like thingies, you don't really have like a lot of. And like the game does like have some grind built into it. Like you want to learn the abilities, like the way the item ability system works, which I like a lot. But it's also not. There's
not
like you can tell how much grinding you have to do because there's like a little number that says how much you got to bother with. But like the characters are amazing in 9. Like all the Final Fantasy games, have like that's like the thing that made Final Fantasy was like their character work, like what set it apart from Dragon Quest and any other like ladder like D&D inspired RPG was like their characters, and I think 9 probably has like the best characters out of all of them, maybe. Like
you already got Phoebe, so that's all you need.
Yeah, I was gonna say like some of the most iconic, like for sure.
And they're so well drawn out. Like you are exposed to them over time, like, and they and also like the dialogue's just kind of. I think this might be the first Final Fantasy that has like a really good translation, or at least it's a translation that feels like it's well done. Whereas like 7, 7's was not great. 8 was better. 10 was. I mean, 10 they had to do voice acting, and I think that was they had to figure out what to do with that. So like I think that's also something that 9 has in favor of it. It's just like that good writing. But yeah, that's a good choice.
And then I don't know, number 4, maybe some Deus Ex. I don't know. Like me, an immersive.
Oh
sim.
sure, yeah.
But
I like
But it's
that.
also with that,
The first one?
I don't know. Is it the first one or is it the third one that I like the best? Hard to say.
I feel a bit of a heathen, and I genuinely think Human Revolution. That's the
Is that the
Adam Jensen Detroit one.
yes, I like that one
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah. I think that one might be my favorite one, and I know that that's
There's
not
definitely
the
some
cool one to think it's
improvements
my
over
favorite.
one, but I feel like it's not the same game as one. One when it came out, blew everyone's little dicks off.
No, that's true. That's true. Like I think with one, I like it all. I don't know. The problem with one is that it's been so memed, like not just memed like literally, but like also like everything, like so many things homage it and stuff like that. That it kind of gets watered down in that.
Well, in like 100 years, they'll think it was some kind of like predictive text. these primitive creatures
that's
have.
fair.
Yeah, yeah. It's like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or some shit. No, wait.
Huh.
From the Earth to the Moon. There we go. Yeah. No, that's a good choice. I don't have a ton to say about DSX or ask you about DSX.
I mean, it's not that like there's like too much to say about that game. That'd be the problem.
That's true. Like, yeah, I guess.
Have its own thing, yeah.
I mean, we also need Alex Jones on. We want to actually do
Exactly, because so much of the language of like shitty conspiracy people and alt-right crap comes from, or at least like we were first exposed to that kind of stuff with DSX. Like all of that stuff that was just kind of like fringe weirdo shit in the 90s that is now dangerous demagoguery, like started out that way.
Yeah.
And that's also something that probably puts a bit of a weird taste on the first DSX nowadays.
Yeah, it's a little different now.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are, I don't know, my ever-evolving pick of games.
No, I think that's
that's a
good.
solid
I mean, like
list.
I got exposed to two things I've never played, so I'm really interesting. It actually makes I feel like my list is very lame now.
Mine as well.
Because I picked pretty lame
Yep.
choices. Do you want me to go first, Mike? Or
I can go through.
So-
yeah, go for it.
no, up to you.
No.
If you
Oh,
wanna go,
no,
you
no,
can go.
no.
I didn't know if you needed more
No,
time.
I don't need more time.
Okay, well, you can go then.
Okay, so for my first one,
I mean, I guess like I want to go out on whoever's got the worst list, so I should go last. I guess.
well, remains to be seen. So, for my first game, like I guess I was trying to think of games that I really enjoy playing a lot that I'd be fine with playing forever going forward, right? That's kind of the idea. And
Vampire Survivors.
actually I had it on there originally and I took it off.
Is it just Cookie Clicker?
It's just Cookie Clicker now. Actually, I just wrote Cookie Clicker down 4 times over my original ones that I wrote down. No, so I was thinking about games that have good gameplay loop mechanics to them or are very long in general. So very first one, Diablo 2, like the original, not this remake or anything, like just the old school original Diablo 2. Hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours can easily be ported into that, and I will not get bored. Like, if I get bored, time to spin up a new class. Like, that's good enough for me. I'm fine playing that solo or LAN style with people would be fine. I know you said no multiplayer, but that one, just a fucking solid game.
I'll let you set up a LAN, but there's no one else
That's
around.
fine. That's fine.
So
Oh,
like you have to
wait,
play with like a
So you
toucan
talking,
and
no ball expansion?
I mean, if you can
no,
have
you can play with
expansions,
Wilson.
Yeah.
That he's on the
Okay.
desert island. You can play with Wilson, the ball.
No,
Oh, no, he knows.
Lord
what
of Destruction.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, the DLC for it. Like
Yeah,
one of
no,
the first games that was like, we're doing DLC. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? You mean you didn't finish the game when you put it out?
No, it's just called an expansion pack, Michael. They didn't call them DLCs back then.
So that would be my first choice of game. Like if I had to think of a game that's going to take a long time to play, and I enjoy a lot, it's going to be Diablo 2. And I was like, all right, so that's like the time sync
Good
game
choice.
out of the way for like an ARPG. I guess not completely then, because then I picked Dark Cloud, the first one, because that game takes forever. If you want to get really into the weapon trees and like the evolutions of them and getting things very specifically right, it takes a long ass time to beat that game. Getting all the cities in the exact right positions, it kind of has, I don't know, bit of a sim feel to it with that. That feels great. Like, oh, the windmill's got to go like this exact direction, but not by this person's house because they fucking hate the noise. That, I don't know. There's something to the old Dark Cloud game. I really want to see it remastered or remade somehow. That'd be great.
Yeah. I need to finish. I played a little bit of that back in the day, but I never really got very far with it because I just borrowed it from like a cousin or something. But I need to check.
Oh
that
yeah,
out.
it is. It was one of my favorite games of the time. I would love to go back and revisit it and play it again. I don't know if the emulation scene for that one is actually workable. Workable or not, but I don't know. Just a really fun game. What else do I got on this list here? Oh, Chrono Trigger. Talking about time sinks and something that's insanely replayable. Chrono Trigger. I can just go through all of the endings. Arvid, you're giving me a look like you don't know about that one.
No. I was literally just humming, like agreeing with you and scratching myself at the same time.
I gotcha.
I actually no, that's a good choice. My problem would be that being on a desert island with no access to game facts, I wouldn't remember how to get all the different endings.
But wouldn't that be great too? Because you'd have to like stumble back through over and over again, trying to like find and remember them.
Yeah.
What items do I have to wait to open?
Exactly. Yeah. You need to print out like the game facts thing. Do you guys remember doing that? Like printing
my parents
out
would
shit
get
off of game
pissed.
facts.
I usually had to do it when they weren't home because it would be like a long strategy guide that'd be printing out.
I would have my mom do it at work.
That's smarter. That's a lot smarter.
I guess also like but the thing she's like she was like a nurse, so I don't know why they didn't care.
Yeah, I mean it is like office theft.
Well, no, but I mean, it's one thing if you're like there's like a ream of paper of stuff coming out in like an office, but like if you're in like a hospital, there's like a giant stack of paper that isn't someone's chart, and that's a bit weird.
It is a bit weirder.
I don't know. Maybe she just went to Kinko's and didn't tell me.
Just didn't want you to feel bad about how much it was costing. It could be. It could be. No, and then for my last pick, staying on the theme of replayability, Majora's Mask. Like, gotta collect all those masks. Get the Fierce Deity mask at the end. Sun and Moon mask always. Yeah, well, specifically for the Sun and Moon mask. Like, getting that wedding to happen, you better know everyone's route through the day. Like, if you don't hit the postman right at the right spot, like, you're not getting done that time.
That was definitely, like, a game not designed for children. Like, compared to, like, the one before. Like, one period of time, like, children can just, like, hop on and be fine. But, like, I was young when that game came out, and, like, I was just, like, it was too much for me.
Yeah.
I was just, like, I had to wait, like, 3 years to be able to, like, actually play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't play it until college, like, all the way through properly. I definitely had I remember seeing that timer like when I rented it as a kid, and I was like, oh god, it just doesn't go away. What do I have to do to make it go away? And it just doesn't go away. That's just how it is. It still makes me nervous thinking about it.
That moon just gets closer and closer and angrier. It's so good. What was it, like 23 minutes or something too? Like, it was a very short amount of time.
Something like that.
It wasn't quite like 1 minute per hour of the day. Because it was over, like, 3 days? I think that you played, technically.
I think so. That sounds right.
But yeah, it was a short-ass timer. God. What a good game.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I feel like they were pretty safe picks, though, except for maybe Dark Cloud. Like, I don't think a lot of people would grab that as a game, but it's really stuck with me for a long time. Hopefully we don't play it and I'm like, oh wow, this is a trash fire. But
I don't think so.
I know.
Wait, what was the other one that he made you play that was
Orphan.
bad?
Oh, I think
It was Orphan.
Orphan
and
only.
No, it's
Who
not the
picked
only
Gex?
bad one. Gex.
I picked Gex.
I thought I picked Gex. I
Did
think
you
we
pick
both
Chance?
picked.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Chance Sonar, that was both. Well, no, Mike brought it up, and I said we
Yeah.
should play it for the
Yeah.
pod. And then Anachronox you picked. I mean, I put it on the list, but you picked that yourself.
That was good.
That was good.
I've done more than that.
Yeah.
Anagrox, Gex. What was after Gex?
Chance, wasn't it?
Nah, I think there was something in between that we had him on for.
Eternal.
Oh, Eternal Darkness.
Oh yeah, Eternal
Yeah.
Darkness. Yeah, that was one you picked. That was a good game.
Yeah, it was. I was very nervous going back to it. I was like, oh man, this could be bad.
Sometimes going back to your childhood is a good game. But
Sometimes.
yeah, I would say that was very good, and the other one was very bad.
That's very fair.
Well, not very bad. It wasn't good.
It was very bad.
Yeah. Are you done?
Yes, please. Tell us what your Desert Island games are.
So I thought of this a little differently in that I was kind of thinking of games that I view as like really replayable, as opposed to like games that are like really good stories or whatever. And generally speaking, I don't do well with repeatable like stories I have to hear again.
You told me Mount Rushmore, so that's what I was going with. You know,
Yeah, I thought I walked that back, so that's fair. Because I realized that if I did the Mount Rushmore of games, then I would have a very boring list.
Cookie Clicker,
But
Cookie Clicker 2,
Cookie Clicker, Vampire Survivors, Fallout 4,
And Dwarf Fortress.
and yeah, that's a good choice. Actually, Dwarf Fortress is on my list. I would put Dwarf Fortress on there. I have sunk hundreds of hours in the Dwarf Fortress, and I could probably continue to sink hundreds of hours in the Dwarf Fortress. And it's a game that is different every time you play it. There's always stuff that I don't know about that game that I discover when I play it again. And yeah, I mean, it would be sad because like being on a desert island, I wouldn't have like the regular updates that Dwarf Fortress has been getting for the last 20 years. So like it would just be stuck in one specific spot, but there's something to be said for that too, I guess. Yeah. So that would definitely be one. The other ones I have Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri.
Oh shit.
Which
Space City.
yeah, I was trying to think. I knew it was going to be one of the civs, but then I remembered Alpha Centauri is really really good, and like the one problem I have with Civilization is that it's always been limited by the fact that it has to be very board gamey and very well balanced and very historical at the same time. So there's a lot of limitations, and Alpha Centauri has none of those. You just have different factions. There's a storyline, but the storyline goes different ways, and it's not you're not beholden to the plot or anything like that. I also thought about putting XCOM 2 in this spot.
Oh yeah,
but
sure.
I ended up with Alpha Centauri, and I think that's
fair.
But really, there are so many that most of the games with Sid Meier's name on it, I probably could have stuck in here, except for some of those weird ones like the Gettysburg.
Sure.
Ones. I don't know that I care that much about the Civil War. And the unit creator system in that like so many games have taken that off of Centauri. It's just like I wish there were. I mean, we got that Beyond Earth game. I wish there was like a whole sister game to Civilization that is just that continuation of that theme.
That would have been fun. We might still see it.
Yeah, I hope so. My most boring choice, I put Skyrim on here because
Wow.
I really like Skyrim.
Wow.
I'm even mod free. I
was going to ask.
Put Skyrim on here.
Is it still? But then is it like the special anniversary edition though? So it still does have like some mods preloaded in that were like community favorites.
No. I don't.
So you're saying like day one Skyrim, you'd be fine with?
I think I would go with special edition, ideally. Okay. So not the day one version, the one that was updated for 64-bit processors, but not the one that they stuck all the Creation Club content
Gotcha.
onto. So like the PS4 version, I guess is what you would say.
Interesting.
I mean, Skyrim's also, it has like, there is a story that you can play through if you want to play through it, but you can also completely ignore the story and just jump into 100 different, dungeons and kill things. And there's so many fun, different ways of killing things. I enjoy every different style of play in Skyrim, whether I'm playing like as an archer or a mage or a hit people in the head guy. Like it's just really, really
I'm
fun.
surprised that you went the melee option instead of New Vegas for that slot. That feels like that would have been the one to take it.
Yeah, I mean, my problem with New Vegas is that I was thinking about things with mods. But like New Vegas unmodded is very unstable.
True.
And also because the storyline's so kind of part of it, like I can only hear like some of those dialogue bits so many times. Like if I have to hear Dave Foley's Yes Man more than once in a month, then that's too much. So
okay, fair enough.
That's
fair
why.
enough.
I mean, like the reason why Skyrim ended up on this is because aside from like having to do the intro sequences and then Bleak Falls Barrow, which is the bane of my existence, it is very open, and I can just, this character is going to be a Dark Brotherhood character, this character is going to be a fighter, or I could do all of them on the same character and just keep
which
going.
Again is why if you can mod it, Live Another Life is like the best mod you can get for your games.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Perfect for that.
And the last one I have is the newest game on this list, which is Anno 1800, which is the most recent Anno game. I've been playing the Anno games since I first heard about them. Before that, I played the Caesar games, which they're heavily influenced by. Like one of the first games I ever played was Caesar on my dad's Amiga. And I think that Anno 1800 is like a really impressive city builder in that it has the scale that none of the other ones have ever had. Like there's just so many different islands and production chains and systems that they all have going on. And at the same time, it manages to be like this almost perfect balancing act. Like it's not quite there, especially some of the newer DLC are not quite as balanced, but like it's extremely impressive how they've managed to like keep. It's like building a house of cards. Like they keep making it taller without upsetting the whole thing. And even without the DLC to begin with, it was just a really excellent city builder with like really the systems gave me satisfaction.
Yes.
I liked playing it, and I liked getting the everything balanced. It's a good game.
Didn't even notice how dark it's gotten out there for you.
Oh yeah, the sunset. It just does that. Just it sets. It's less like a gradual like sunset and more like a
swan dive.
Like it's like a tired cat that just like lies down on a soft thing, like just flops down.
That sounds so good right now.
So that was this episode. Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
I mean, I don't think so.
Got any?
I think my plan's going to be take a quick shower and play Cookie Clicker in bed until I got to go to work.
Cookie Clicker until you pass
pretty
out.
much. Pretty much. You're
not going to sleep playing Cookie Clicker all day.
I mean, that's actually good.
Cookie Clicker has
point,
like this.
Sleep.
I mean, no, I've stayed up all night playing Cookie Clicker. I mean, granted, it's been a decade or so, but
it sounds like the whole point is it does it
there
for
is
you.
Like
so,
this,
like at a certain point, isn't it fine to just turn it off, Arvid? And
because you read the text and all that stuff. Like it gets like there's like this kind of like Lovecraftian unfolding of.
So it's like universal paperclip.
Not, I don't know what that is.
You make paper clips.
Is it a?
And then it gets easier to make the paper clips, and then pretty soon you're producing more paper clips than atoms in the universe, and that's when you beat the game. Is like when you've converted all known like energy and molecules in the universe into paperclip. You win paperclip.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like Cookie Clicker, actually.
There you go. Well, you'd have fun with that one too, because I've sunk a lot of time into that. It's got like a sassy AI-ish thing as well that comes in at a certain point.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, no, this sounds exactly like Cookie Clicker.
Okay. Yeah.
So I should probably play that
should.
too, I guess. All right. I certainly have made quite a list of games I want to play going forward. Hopefully you guys did too, you being the listeners. This is a weird episode. So we'll be back to a more normal format next time. But
where we're all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yakuzamas.
Yeah,
It'll
next
be
episode will be the first episode of
Yakuzamas.
Yakuzamas.
That's gonna be fun.
So
can't wait.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Get your Kiryu Santa memes. That's definitely probably.
I'm sure it is. Have to be.
I mean, Yakuza 0 happens at Christmas, right? Or is it one of the? Yakuza
It's
happens
New
at
Year's,
Christmas?
but so yeah, I think Christmas happens during it too.
Because there's one that I remember running by, and there's like Christmas trees.
That's
everywhere.
probably because I think it's the Millennial Towers
to-
like constructs. That's so it's one. I think it's one.
That could be, yeah, because the like new millennium.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening. If you like this, like it, and then if you want to subscribe, do that.
You should.
And also comment on it and
Give us
email us at thesavestatepodcast.
Yeah. You can give us like a 5-star or like 2 thumb up
5
or
cookies.
5 cookies or whatever metric you want to use, as long as it translates into a perfect rating. And if you won't do it for us, do it for Scott Karatopoulos. Come on. He's out there hungry, like pounding pavement every day for you. So give back. I'm so tired, guys.
Please.
All right.
I've been
Goodbye.
Marcus.
Oh, and I've been Mike.
And I'm Arvid. And yeah. Bye.
Yes. Too sleepy for bits. Bye.
Birdie, that is a really stinky fart. Where the hell are you? He's not even in the room. Where the hell is he?
Is there a fart?
Yeah.
Wait, are you trying to blame it on the dog right now?
He's trying to, but the dog's not in the room.
Like, if this was me, I would not even. Like, this is concerning. Like, I'm actually worried that, like, my dog is, like, crapped himself somewhere. I'll be right back.
This is good. This is a good recording. Oh, God. You gotta go into work today, Marcus? You got to go into work. I like how you're wearing headphones, but you leaned in closer to the computer to hear me again. That's solid.
No, I think he must have just crop dusted me and I didn't notice.
Okay. Good. Good. Glad there's not a turd to deal with.
My bet is Arvid just changes underwear. He went off screen and changed his underwear.
I would tell you if I shat myself on air. That's like, useful ammunition right there.
Mm-hmm.
For funny things.
I had to be really careful at the start of the recording because I thought I was going to. But I didn't, so we're good.
Well, you have different. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm. It's early morning. You never know what's going to, come out.
Poop, usually.
Usually, yeah. Yep.